Hi everyone, Matthew Donovan here. This is the July update for my 2017 resolutions. I'm a little bit late here. I wanted to wait. I was in the middle of my exams for this semester, so I wanted to wait until those were finished to get this uploaded. We'll jump right into it with languages. Actually, before I do that, one of the things, I will be touching on this, but coming up at the end of this month, I'll be going to Langfest in Montreal. It's a language festival. So I'll touch on this a little bit in my languages update, but one of the things I've really been focused on is working on French, trying to improve my French. That's what they speak in Montreal for the most part, and I figure if I go to Montreal, I want to be able to speak the language at least a little bit. I've been focusing on that. That's primarily what I've been working on during the month of July, at least the later part, and it's also what I'll be working on up until I go to Montreal during the month of August. But here's the update for July. We'll start with languages. During the month of July, I was quite focused on my school. We found this, I think I mentioned this before, each month really has one of these resolutions that I put the most time and the most focus towards. It definitely was not languages this past month. That being said, as I mentioned, I'm going to Montreal. I wanted to start working on French. I found a tutor on italki. His name's Frederick. He's based in Namur in Belgium, and I've been speaking with him during the end of July, also a little bit now during the start of August. I spent 10 years in elementary school up till grade 9 learning French, so it's now a matter of seeing what I have hidden in the back of my mind, bringing that back, and also reading, learning new words, and really spending my new approach and taking my new approach to learning languages and spending that on French. Not how I learned it in school, which was a lot of grammar, memorize this, the conjugations, the endings, the past tense, future tense, all these different conjugations, and memorizing words. Yes, the words are very important, but you can also say things in different ways. And I found in school, and this is the same with some other language learning websites that I've been experiencing, if you don't get it 100% correct, it's wrong. Whereas with languages, all you need is you need to be able to be understood. And as long as you can be understood, that's what matters. So that's what I've been trying to focus on. One of the other things, I started doing this with my Czech lessons on italki. I have a sheet of paper, and as I go through the lesson, I try to frame the lessons so that it's really a conversation for that hour. And what I find is every once in a while I'll get a word that I want to use and I can't figure out how to express it in a different way. I'll write that word down in English, look up the translation, and I'll write down the translation in whatever language. Then this gives me a list of these key words. These are the words I'm using and I need to know. And for example, in French, these are words like only, seulement, maybe, peut-être, last week, la semaine passée. For example, these words are words that I'm using and I need to know. And I find that writing them down, every time I've written the word down, maybe the next lesson I want to use the word again, I have to write it down a second time, but then that I remember. I say, oh, I wrote this down before. And having written it down a few times really helps with learning those words. I found, now we're jumping a little bit ahead into August here, I'm making great progress in French, and I'm really able to be speaking in these conversations using these words, and I think it's largely due to the fact that I'm writing down the words that I'm wanting to use over and over again, and I'm making sure to learn those words. It's about learning the most frequent words. Those will give you the most bang for your buck when you're learning a language. It died down a little bit near the end of July. I was putting some focus towards exams, but overall I've been making good progress with languages, and as I said, switch to French. That'll be my focus, at least during the month of August. Not sure what'll happen come September, but these next 2 weeks will be huge. All languages, French, German, Czech, maybe even a little bit of Italian. See what I can remember, see what I can learn, make sure I'm in good standing when I go to the language festival. Second goal is reading. Reading was pretty good during the month of July. I finished 2 books completely, and I was part of the way through a third and continued that through to August. I did take a few days off. I was a little ill during the middle of July. I took a few days off there. But for the most part, I've been reading every day before I go to bed. It's a good routine. It's working for me. I'm happy with that. And I'll be continuing that routine hopefully towards the end of the year. I might need to pick up the pace a little bit to get through more books, but it's a start to just be reading every single day, and the next step will be improving the amount that I'm reading. I know at the start of the year I'd said might want to read 50 books. I don't think I'll get there. Maybe 20, 30. I'm not quite sure what I'm at now. 20 or 30 books would be a big accomplishment. Next goal is exercise. Exercise has been the one out of all the resolutions that has been put on the bottom of the priority list this past month. The month started off pretty well. I did a bit of swimming. I think I ran once. But as the month progressed, as I said, I was ill for about a week in the middle of July. And then once that was finished, we were just coming into exams, needing to study, needing to write the exams. I basically said, I don't have time for this. We'll put it on the bottom of the to-do list. I'll do it once I get into August, once I have more time available. So I don't have a huge update in terms of exercise, but making a little bit of progress, and it's just a matter of getting into that routine, doing things. I'm back home now. I'm home for about a week and a half. Then I'm off to Montreal. The tough thing during the month of August will be figuring out if I can get a routine into place. Can I find the time? Can I go swimming? Can I go running? What can I do now that I'm home? In terms of co-op, again, this isn't going on. Next month, I'll be starting a co-op search for my next co-op. That'll be taking place in January of 2018, but that'll be in September, not during the month of August, so still a little bit to go there. The next goal is GPA. This one is probably the biggest goal, the most important for me. This is really a lot on the line this semester. I need a 10.6 GPA in order to keep my scholarship. I'm not sure where I'll be. At this point, I finished all my exams. The month of July, I think I may have written one midterm, but the real focus during July was coming in strong into the exam period and performing well during all of the exams. It's going to be tough. I think I'll be close. I don't know how we'll be. It will definitely be close. This is where getting 84% versus getting 85% makes a world of a difference. So it'll really be a matter of seeing where things fall, how exams are marked. It's too soon to tell. I'll definitely have the grades back by the end of August, by the middle of August actually. So I'll have that update, and I think at the end of August that'll be a better time to do a big reflection, how GPA went. At this point, it's too soon to tell. It'll all be speculative. It is all speculative right now with anything to do with GPA, but it's definitely been a strong semester, and it'll be interesting to see where everything falls once all the marks come back. And finally, get involved. Getting involved during the month of July, our softball team, we finished the season. I think we broke 500, so we're just the same, if not better, win-to-loss ratio. I can't quite remember how that ended, but we had fun. I know I had fun being on the softball team. That's something I'll be looking at again next year, next summer, to see if I can take part, who will be on the team, when the games will be, if it fits into my schedule. That was really the biggest involvement that I took part in during the summer, and at this point, August, really the month is off. Exams are finished by the 8th of August. The 8th or 9th of August is when the last exam finishes for anyone. Most of August is off. I'll be at home. I won't really be involved. September will be starting strong with orientation week, the planning for that, working forward on that. But this summer had a lot less in terms of getting involved. But come September, I'm a business TA. I'm on Laurier's case competition team. I'll be the promotions executive for the emergency response team. There'll be a lot going on. It's going to be tough, but I think it'll be fine. It'll definitely be a matter of just balancing time, making sure I fit everything in, schedule everything in. But I think that's the update for here. The July update, not as much going on. As I said, exams were coming up at the end of July and beginning of August. That was really my focus. Probably the last 2 weeks in July was really spent focusing, preparing, figuring out what do I need to do. I had exams right on that first day, 2 exams during the first 2 days of the exam period. So it really was a matter of making sure I'm prepared, had all my study material ready. I'd gone through, done the reviews, done all of that. But as I said, I think the semester overall went well. I'll have more information next week. That's when I'll be getting my grades back. But we'll wait for the August update to do that. This month, at least the next week, will really be focused on languages. Hopefully, I want to spend probably at least 2 hours a day, 1 hour on German, maybe an hour on French, maybe even half an hour on Czech at a minimum every single day. I'll spread it out, maybe German in the morning, French in the afternoon. I think I'm going to spend a lot of time listening, reading to things I've already read, maybe to new articles, new stories, learn, see where I can get during the month of August. Now that I'm at home, I've got that week and a half off, so it will be interesting. I will probably be posting a couple more videos when I'm in Montreal at Langfest. I'm not sure. It'll depend how things go there, but that is definitely the plan, to post some updates. I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be a great experience and a great opportunity to meet other language learners and the language learning community. So you'll probably hear from me then. If not, I'll definitely do an update at the end of August, and Langfest will be a huge part of that, especially the language resolution. But I think that's the update for July. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.